Hi everyone, today we're going to be conducting the test of narrative language. I'm going to be the child and Kelly's going to be the clinician.
So first I'm going to start the voice recorder. Julie Carlin, March 15th, 2017. Have you ever eaten at McDonald's?
Yes, I have.
What do you like to order?
Chicken nuggets and french fries.
I want you to listen to a story about two children who go to McDonald's with their mother. Listen carefully because I'm going to ask you some questions about it. After you answer the questions, I'm going to ask you to retell the whole story to me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
On Tuesday, when Lisa and Raymond got home from school, their mother said, "Tonight we're going out to eat. Where do you want to go?" Lisa and Raymond both yelled, "McDonald's!" They jumped into the car and their mother drove them to the nearest McDonald's. As they walked into the restaurant, Lisa said she couldn't decide whether to get a Big Mac or a Happy Meal. Raymond and their mother both knew what they wanted. When they got to the counter, Raymond asked for a cheeseburger, french fries, and a large vanilla milkshake. Their mother ordered a salad. Lisa finally made up her mind. She told the clerk, "I'll have a Happy Meal, a Coke, and a chocolate ice cream cone." The clerk said that will be $12.50. When their mother reached for her purse, it wasn't there. She realized she had left it on the kitchen counter at home. What should they do?
They should go home so they can get the purse.
What was the girl's name?
Lisa.
And what was the boy's name?
Raymond.
Was anyone else in the story?
The mother.
Where were the children when they talked to their mother about eating out?
At home.
Where did they eat?
At McDonald's.
What kind of milkshake did Raymond want?
Chocolate one.
What did their mother order?
A burger.
What did Lisa order?
A Happy Meal.
What kind of ice cream cone did she want?
A chocolate one.
What was the problem in this story?
Their mom forgot her purse.
Now tell the story back to me. Tell me everything you remember, even the things I just asked you. Try to say the story the same way I said it. What happened to the boy and girl in the story?
So they were at home. They were at home, and their mom asked them where they wanted to go eat, and they said they wanted to go to McDonald's. And Lisa wasn't sure what she wanted to get. She was like, "Should I get a cheeseburger? Should I get a salad?" And then they went over there, and her brother ordered a cheeseburger and fries and a milkshake, and her mom got a salad. And then Lisa got a cheeseburger and an ice cream cone. And then the cashier asked them how they were going to pay, and her mom realized she forgot her purse.
I can see you're working really hard. Keep it up. I'm going to tell you a story that goes with the picture that you see here. When I'm finished, I'll ask you some questions about my story. After that, I'll show you another set of pictures, and I'll ask you to make up a story about them. Remember, stories have a beginning, things that happen, and an ending. I'm going to call this story The Shipwreck. Last week, Samantha's class was studying the ocean. Each child was supposed to turn in an art project that had something to do with the ocean. Samantha decided to build a ship, and her mother helped. Samantha and her mother worked on the ship for 3 days. On the day Samantha took her ship to school, her mother said, "That sure is a great-looking ship. I'll bet you get an A." As Samantha was walking to school, she accidentally tripped on a rock. She dropped her ship into a mud puddle. Her ship was ruined, and she felt terrible. She started to cry, but then she thought, "I'm not going to cry about this. I'll just have to take my ship to school and fix it." When Samantha got to school, she got busy putting her ship back together. It wasn't as good as it once was, but it was certainly better than nothing. When her teacher came over, she was surprised to see a muddy, half-broken ship. After Samantha told her what happened, her teacher said, "Samantha, you deserve an A+ for the way you handled that problem." I am going to ask you some questions about my story. What was the girl's name?
Samantha.
Who else was in the story?
Her mom and the teacher.
What was Samantha's class studying?
Ocean.
Where did Samantha build the ship?
I know.
How did Samantha feel when her ship fell in the mud?
Upset.
What did Samantha decide to do with her ship after it fell in the mud?
Carry it to school.
What grade did the teacher give Samantha?
An A.
All right. Now I'm going to show you 5 pictures that go together to tell a story. I'd like you to look at them carefully and tell me the story that goes with the pictures. Make your story as long and as complete as you can. You can start anytime you are ready.
Okay, so the little boy, his name was Paul, he woke up for school, and then he went downstairs and was pouring milk, but he spilled it all over the table because he wasn't really looking at it. He was looking at the clock because he was worried he was late. And then he was putting on his shoes, but then he broke his shoelace, so it took a really long time. And then he went to go catch the school bus, but it already left. So then he had to go back home, and his mom was really mad that he was late.
Good work. Now we are going to move on. I'm going to tell you a story that goes with the picture that you see here. I'll ask you some questions about my story. Then I'll show you a picture for you to make up the story about. Try to make your story even better than mine. I'm going to call this story The Dragon. One Saturday morning, Daniel and Michelle found a new trail they had never seen before. They decided to follow it to see where it led. As they came around a bend, they heard a strange hissing sound. Daniel snuck up behind a large rock and peeked over. He whispered to Michelle, "I can't believe it. I think there's a dragon by the cave over there." Michelle peeked over the rock to see her for herself. She was excited. She ducked down and said, "Yep, that's a dragon all right, and he's guarding a treasure chest." Daniel was scared. He said, "Let's go tell Mom and Dad what we found." He started to get up and run off. Michelle grabbed his arm and said, "Wait, nobody will ever believe us. We need to take a piece of gold back with us as proof. Then they'll know we're telling the truth." Daniel thought this was a really bad idea. He said, "If the dragon catches us, we'll be cooked." Just then they heard the dragon going back into his cave. Michelle said, "Now's our chance," and then she dashed around a rock. She ran up to the treasure chest and started grabbing all of the gold and jewelry she could get her hands on. The dragon heard her, dashed out from the cave, and blew blazes of fire out of his mouth. Seeing the flames fly toward her, Michelle screamed with fear, dropped all the treasure she had taken, and ran as fast as she could right past Daniel. Daniel, his eyes wide with terror, followed as fast as his legs would carry him. They didn't stop running until they reached the end of the trail. After they caught their breath, Daniel and Michelle went home and told their parents about their adventure. They didn't have any treasure to prove their story was true. Their father said, "I find this pretty hard to believe." "We can prove it," Daniel and Michelle yelled. "We'll take you back to the trail." The family walked to the place where Daniel and Michelle thought the trail began. They looked and looked for the trail, but they never found it. To this day, Michelle and Daniel are not sure if their experience with the dragon was real or just a dream. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about my story. What were the children's names?
Danielle and Michelle.
Where were they walking before they saw the dragon?
On a trail.
What did Michelle want to take back with them?
A piece of gold.
What did Daniel think about Michelle's plan to take a piece of gold?
He thought it was a good idea.
What were the problems in the story?
When she went to go get the gold, the dragon woke up and started blazing fire at her, and they had to run away.
And what did Michelle do after the dragon blew fire at her?
She ran off.
Where did Daniel and Michelle go after they were scared?
Back home.
What did Daniel and Michelle do when they got home?
They told their parents what happened.
And what did their father say?
He thought it was really cool.
And then what did the family do?
They went to go find the dragon.
Now I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to look at it carefully and think of a story to tell. Remember that stories have beginning, things that happen, and an ending. Try to tell the best story that you can. You can start any time that you are ready.
Okay, so Jane and Bobby were walking in the park, and Jane thought she heard this really weird noise. And Bobby said it was nothing, that it was an airplane, Jane shouldn't worry about it. Jane wouldn't let it go. So then she dragged him over to go see where the noise was, because she thought she heard a crash. And they went over, and Jane saw this huge UFO. And Bobby tried to argue that it wasn't a UFO, but Jane said it was, and then all of a sudden it popped open, and all these purple blob people started coming out. And they were dressed in these human clothes, and they had tentacles and spots on them, and they even had an alien dog, which was so cool. And then Jane was like, oh my gosh, Bobby, we should go meet them. And Bobby got really scared, and he didn't want to go meet them, and he said they might be dangerous, and tried to hold Jane back. But then Jane went over and introduced herself, and Bobby ran away to go find the police.
Okay. Now we're all finished. Thank you for your hard work today, and now you can go back to class.